Join us as we uncover the fascinating journey of the geoduck. It looks like a creature from another world, buried deep within the coastal mud. This is the giant geoduck. The journey begins in the cold, nutrient-rich waters of the Pacific Northwest, where these giants burrow deep into the sand.
Harvesting them is a labor-intensive process, requiring divers to extract them one by one without damaging the shell.
Once harvested, time is of the essence. The live catch is immediately rushed to the processing facility to ensure peak freshness.
Upon arrival, the geoducks enter a strictly controlled environment designed to mimic their natural habitat. The raw intake begins. At this stage, they are still covered in the grit and sand of the ocean floor.
High-pressure filtration systems strip away the external debris, preparing the clams for their first inspection.
Thorough cleaning is vital, as even a grain of sand can compromise the quality of the final product.
Expert inspectors examine every single unit. Any specimen with a cracked shell or lethargic movement is immediately removed.
Prized for its sweet flavor and crunchy texture, this giant clam commands a premium price across the globe.
Only the largest and healthiest geoducks make the cut for the premium export market.
Before processing continues, they are allowed to rest and purge any remaining sand in these oxygenated saltwater tanks.
After the purging process is complete, the geoducks are retrieved for the most critical stage of production.
Separating the meat from the shell requires a specialized blade and intimate knowledge of the clam's anatomy.
The processor must sever the adductor muscle without piercing the delicate body meat inside.
Once the muscle is cut, the shell is discarded, revealing the massive siphon and the body meat in its raw form.
The visceral mass is carefully trimmed away, leaving only the prized siphon and the tender breast meat.
To remove the tough, leathery outer skin, the siphons must undergo a thermal shock process known as blanching.
They are submerged for exactly 6 seconds, just enough to loosen the skin without cooking the meat beneath.
The thermal shock has done its job. The outer membrane is now separated from the pristine muscle.
This is the signature moment. The skin slides off effortlessly, unveiling the pearl-white meat that makes this delicacy so valuable.
But preparing this delicacy requires surgical precision and a masterful touch.
From the gritty ocean floor to the finest dining tables, the transformation is nothing short of art.
They are submerged for exactly 6 seconds, just enough to loosen the skin without cooking the meat beneath.
An immediate transfer to an ice bath stops the cooking instantly, preserving the crisp texture essential for sashimi.
The thermal shock has done its job. The outer membrane is now separated from the pristine muscle.
This is the signature moment. The skin slides off effortlessly, unveiling the pearl-white meat that makes this delicacy so valuable.
The first step is to butterfly the siphon, opening the tube to expose the inner wall for final cleaning. Even at this stage, inspection is rigorous. The inner texture must be spotless before any slicing begins.
Uniformity is key for premium presentation. The rough edges are trimmed away, reserved for chowders or secondary products.
A dull blade would crush the delicate fibers. Only a razor-sharp edge can glide through the meat without resistance. This is the usuyukuri cut, paper-thin slices that maximize the geoduck's signature crunch.
You can see the freshness in the reaction of the meat. This curl is the hallmark of a live processed geoduck.
With the butchery complete, the geoduck has been transformed from a rugged burrower into one of the ocean's most expensive ingredients.
Nothing goes to waste. These cuts are destined for premium seafood chowders and dried snacks, requiring a different texture profile.
The meat is submerged in a salinity-controlled brine, brought to a rolling boil.
Within minutes, the meat transforms. It becomes firm and opaque, locking in the natural sweetness of the clam.
An ice glaze acts as a natural shield, protecting the luxury cargo from freezer burn during its flight across the globe. The aroma at this stage is potent, a concentrated essence of the ocean that fills the entire facility.
Excess moisture is shaken off mechanically before the meat proceeds to the preservation stage.
Once the internal temperature reaches the target, the batch is immediately hoisted from the heat. The aroma at this stage is potent, a concentrated essence of the ocean that fills the entire facility.
To concentrate the flavor, the cooked meat is prepared for a slow dehydration process. Spacing is critical for even airflow.
The racks are loaded into massive kiln-dried smokers, where temperature and humidity are monitored by advanced AI systems.
Inside the chamber, the geoduck is bathed in smoke for up to 48 hours.
As moisture evaporates, the sugars caramelize, transforming the pale meat into golden nuggets of concentrated umami. The result is a dramatic transformation. The aroma of smoked seafood is overwhelming as the cycle concludes. Under the harsh glare of the inspection table, there is nowhere to hide. Only the flawless will earn the Sashimi Gold rating.
Before packaging, the product must be cooled rapidly to room temperature to prevent condensation.
Size dictates the value. We measure to the fraction of a millimeter to ensure absolute consistency for the world's top chefs.
Color is a matter of prestige. The deeper the amber, the more concentrated the sweetness of the sea. A master grader trusts their senses. It should smell of nothing but a fresh, cold Pacific breeze.
Efficiency meets excellence. Thousands of units are sorted per hour, but the criteria remain uncompromising.
To stop time, we descend into the sub-zero. This cryogenic tunnel locks the geoduck's freshness at the molecular level. Witness the architecture of cold. These microcrystals ensure the meat retains its famous crunch when thawed.